What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. We are back. We are profiling, styling. Oh, I should have done the Ric Flair thing. Going to do that next time. You got to get that hockey wrestling content crossover. That sweet spot
the
where you make the money. yeah. We are back with another profile because the Sharks are still off. If you listen to other ones, it's going to follow the same format, but we are heading back to Sweden.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. Back with me, as always, is co-host JD, the Sergei Zubov to my Dick Tarnstrom. That's a real guy. That's a real guy. He played for like Pittsburgh and a bunch of other teams, and he was very useful in fantasy.
I just liked your aggressive, like, kind of anchor head turned into there.
I need to get a swivel chair so I can spin around like I'm the bad guy from Inspector Gadget.
Yes, there you go.
And a cat. I need a cat. Actually, I don't want a cat. Anyway, you can be Sergei Zubov. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Dick Tarnstrom is just going to the Hall of Hearts because what a baller.
The Fantasy Hall of Fame.
Well, like back in the day when I was like 12 or whatever, and my dad was teaching me about fantasy, we did like an office pools where you had to like pick the guy based on his salary, and then you just had him for the whole year. But Dick Tarnstrom made like no money, made like $600,000, but he would like pop in like 30 points or something like that. You're like, yeah, that's some good value, and I had him every year. I'm also drafting guys like Roman Esch or Roman Czechmanic and like Robert Esch and stuff are like on the team. This is the one I'm talking about. But anyway, Sergei Zubov, he's a boss. So okay.
Soon to be noted, boss. Yes. So we're going to continue our draft files if you're new or, if you're a long-time listener. But what we do is we go through their statistical profile, kind of give you a little kind of teaser of what this guy's like. And then we'll bring in a local expert who will kind of talk about, this, again, another very local expert for this one, who's going to
incredibly local,
yes. He's going to talk about kind of more of the nitty-gritty on this guy. And of course, we're going to try to find out, in our case, to find William Eklund a friend, if he could be a long-term William Eklund friend.
Got to get William Eklund to give that rose out.
Yes.
Could it be this mystery child?
Yes. So we're going to be profiling one Liam Öhgren, who is a 18-year-old
hockey player.
January birthday Swedish boy. Plays left wing on Djurgården. He's 6'1", 187. And this year he has played on both Djurgården's under-20 team and the SHL team. 21 games on the under-20 team where he had 22 goals, 18 assists for 40 points. On the SHL team, he hasn't been as prolific with 23 games, 1 goal and 1 assist for 2 points. So
not as prolific is a really funny way to say that. And if you're watching on YouTube, JD puts up the point per games, and he decided to go with the SHL stats.
I go with
and it's
whichever
0.08.
Yeah, whichever one is. I go with the bigger sample size, as sample size is king. So to talk about our beloved Swedish boy, we have back.
Hey, look at that. Back in action. It's Mikael Holm. You can find him at Smart Scouting or his own Substack, mikaelholm.substack.com. Twitter bio, noted Swedish. You should put noted. Swedish Scout. Very to the point. Very, very Nordic of you to just go straight to the heart here.
It's been a long time, Mikael.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't remember when I saw you guys last, but it's good to see you guys again.
Do you have any Dick Tarnstrom memories?
No, I know he's an AIK guy in Sweden, which is the other Stockholm team. But he was just a guy that like played in the NHL when I was a kid. He was like never on. I think he was on one Olympic team or something, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, I remember him, but don't remember how good he was.
He, oh my God, his elite prospects profile, he looks 1,000 years old. His photo. He's 47 years old now. Retired. He retired in, holy shit, he retired in 2013? What?
Good for him.
Okay, anyway.
Dick
Dick Tarnstrom
speaking
and
about
Dick
random,
Axelson.
also really quick, speaking about random Olympic players, Liam Öhgren, Olympic hockey.
Leon Bergman made the German team?
Yes.
The motherland. They did it. Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, man. That's like, can we have Leon Draisaitl? No, we have Leon Draisaitl at home. It's a picture of Leon Bergman.
Sorry.
Poor Germany. They had like a decent little thing because they would have had Draisaitl and Moritz Seider and JJ Peterka, Stutzle, Reichel. Like they would have had a little something cooking. I think they had a okay goalie, I think, kicking around there, but poor guys. Oh, Leon Bergman. Yes. That's so sick. He was so bad with San Jose. Just was banished forever. But Liam Öhgren, I actually on purpose didn't do any research about this because I don't what is his deal? Because you start hearing about people, so like Lekkerimäki, I knew he was a goal scorer, and you start hearing about guys rising and falling. I had literally never heard of Liam Öhgren until about 2 weeks ago when you were like, I want to do the Swedish guys, and I was like, Kallio Delius and Noah Östlund. You're like, no, the two that are going in the first round. You're like Lekkerimäki and Öhgren. I was like, the hell is an Öhgren? So what's the deal with Öhgren? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Öhgren and Lekkerimäki are better shouts to go in the first round than Östlund and Odelius from the information we have now, which is Bob's list, and that's all the information.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
Pretty good list.
Yeah, if you like bad hockey players, then sure.
Hey, it's at the end of the day, it's pretty accurate about where people go. So
yeah. And that's the problem with the NHL. Öhgren is a guy that he has a lower ceiling than the other Swedes, in my opinion, the other Djurgården guys. But he is a guy that will work out and he will play NHL games, and he skates really well. He's great along the boards. He gets the puck back. Forechecking is real great. He is skilled too. Like he's not like he's really great on the puck, as evident by what we're talking about his scoring in J20 league in Sweden. He's almost at a 2 point per game and scores above a goal per game. He is a great prospect. He's too good to play in the J20. That's why he scores so much. He could be the best Swede coming out of this draft, but that's probably if none of the other Swedes work out. Okay. So, I think
kind of a high floor, low ceiling type of guy who's going to come in and you know exactly what you're getting out of him.
Oh God, this sounds like Marcus Sorensen and Marcus Melker Karlsson.
No, like he isn't that. Like I would compare him to Zach Hyman. Like he's that kind of player. He won't drive the line. He won't be, but he's going to be like the perfect complement player. If you have Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, then he's going to.
What about a William Eklund? Will he complement William Eklund?
Yeah, he would do great with William Eklund. They would make a fantastic duo. So like he's great and he works really well with the other two. You're going to their line is perfectly it's a perfect line basically. Him, Östlund, and Lekkerimäki together are working really really well. And yeah, I think he'd be a good pick in the mid-teens or the teens or the early 20s in the first round for.
Yeah, another good pick. For your own personal advantage is Built Bars, because they're healthy. They're covered in 100% real chocolate. Damn it. Oh, JD laughed, not Mikael. Mikael went super poker face. Built Bars, though, they are a good choice because they are, like I said, covered in 100% real chocolate. So they taste good. You're not getting that disgusting chemically flavored or other gross protein bar stuff. Tons of different flavors. You can get your favorite. If you haven't tried some, you can just get a mix box. Or if you have your favorite, like coconut brownie or double chocolate or peanut butter, you can do that. Or Built Bar has Puffs, which is the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. And let me tell you, and JD can attest to this, they are very puffy and marshmallowy. When you bite into it, it's like eating a marshmallow. But they're also covered in 100% real chocolate. And they have really cool flavors like cinnamon churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie. We've also tried like a key lime pie at one point. They had a limited time flavor of caramel almond. So always check out built.com because they always have limited time flavors. Peeps flavors. Come on, Peeps. Marshmallow Peeps is literally the name of the thing, and you can do the flavor. Just get on it, Built Bar. Just find the people that make Peeps. I just want it. I don't want to eat it because I hate Peeps. They're disgusting. But I think Peeps are funny. So maybe a mini egg flavor. I don't know. Figure it out. And the good thing about all of these is that most Built Bars only contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to your typical chocolate bar, which usually has around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. So go to built.com, use promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off your order. It's down here. Use promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. So, does William Eklund actually play with Liam Öhgren at all? Like, I know they're on the same team, but okay. And end of story.
Well, Liam Öhgren plays as mostly an extra forward nowadays. He's played on the fourth line a little bit, but he hasn't really played with Eklund at all. And while I think they would work out, you need to be bad another year and get another guy to add on to that line if it's going to work out properly. But yeah, I guess if you keep Hurdle, then Hurdle and Eklund and Öhgren could work decently. But yeah.
So what's been the issue? Because like you said, he scored really well on his J20 or like the J20 team. But why hasn't that translated, you think, as well to the SHL team?
He doesn't play a prominent role on the SHL team. He plays fourth line minutes. He's just out there to get the team some energy, just go high paced, don't do too much, and just like be a guy basically, fill out a role. I think in the J20 he's way too good to play there, and he should probably have a role. Maybe he should be loaned out to Allsvenskan, which is the second division in Sweden, and maybe get a few reps in there. That could happen this spring. I don't know. It's possible still. But yeah, I think he's just too good to be in the J20, but he's not really an impact player in the SHL. And he's not going to get the opportunities high in the lineup either, because he's not as flashy as Lekkerimäki.
So what does he do well then? So I read like he skates like the wind, right? But like, and you said he does score. So like, you think that's translatable to the NHL, or like what do you think? What is his like highlight kind of package feel like?
Yeah, he plays a very translatable game, very projectable game. He, as you said, he skates really well. He's a really fast player. He wins a lot of puck along the boards, and he put pressure on the opponent a lot with his forechecking and his speed. When he comes going at you, you get a little bit worried because he comes so fast at you. He is a guy that creates plays from winning the puck high on the ice, high up on the ice, and in the offensive zone. He utilizes defensemen's mistakes, and he has a pretty good shot, because like he scores above a goal per game in the J20. He can score, and he's very skilled, but he's more like when I talked about Lekkerimäki earlier in another episode, he doesn't really get to the net and score, but Öhgren gets to the net, and that's why he scores a bunch, because he's very good around the net with his hands, and with he's a very strong player. So
he's Noah Gregor if Noah Gregor could score. Then he's fast and he gets to the net, and yeah. And
Oh God, why do we have to do this to these poor kids? Why would you say that? God, that is terrible. I don't wish that upon anybody. So just trying to flesh it out here. So Liam Öhgren seems like JD said he's limited on his ceiling. Is there a way for him to push through that ceiling and become an impact player? Or is he kind of just always destined to be that middle of the lineup guy that's there?
I mean, he could, yeah. Like there's a chance it could become, because like he has all the tools. I just don't see that the tools are that high end type of tools. I think he's just like, he's a very good player. He could definitely be a complimentary guy on your first or second line. As I said, like a Zach Hyman type of player who will do everything to get the puck back to and get it to the more creative players. But it's not like he's not creative either. It's a little bit of a, I don't know. I just don't see him being as this really high scoring guy, but yeah, like
I
there's
guess
possibility because he has the tools, but I just don't.
yeah, he just
I
doesn't
don't
have the
see
instruction
him as
manual.
that player. Yeah,
I guess
but
for me thinking. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's like he could become really really well, but I just think it's like there's something with him that just it doesn't really pop as it does with other players that you see the high end ceiling. I think he pans out as if he really really reaches his ceiling. I think he's like a second line complementary guy that's going to do a lot of good things for you than be way too expensive because NHL GM's going to want a guy like that when he's 26 or 27 and pay
Zach
him a
Hyman,
shit
baby,
ton of money. Yeah,
makes a lot of money. So it seems like there's a universe where he pans out and is like, there's one universe where he pans out and he's like top end guy, but like more likely he's gonna be that middle guy. So it doesn't seem like he would be the kind of guy San Jose would take upper part of the draft. This seems more like a mid 20s guy or an early 20s guy to pick because you're not getting that. Hey, this guy could be like when we talked about Lekkerimaki, that guy could be a 40 goal scorer. You know what I mean? We talked about Matt Savoy being possibly like a 90-point guy. Like, I guess he's not in that conversation, right? He's much more on the back end of the first round.
Yeah, I think I have him like 15 to 20 or 15 to 25 tier, so somewhere around there, I would be very comfortable picking him. I think that's where he's going to go as well, and I think you're going to have a very solid player when you take him. But I just don't think he's going to be this high-end, high-ceiling type of guy.
Do you think what he does like is very NHL projectable? Like, is he making the NHL?
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be an NHL player regardless of almost like barring an injury or whatever. Then I think he's going to be an NHL player. He has everything that an NHL GM wants. He has the speed and he has the tempo to play at a high paced game, and he throws hits and he's strong and stuff like that. So
kind of sounds like a guy that might be like Ottawa Senators. Pierre Maguire gets all hot and bothered and is like, "Oh,
Okay.
at 7 overall."
For how to...
Does Alexa have thoughts?
I have no idea.
Siri's got thoughts on him, I guess.
Siri has Liam Öhgren thoughts. Seriously.
Yeah. That was weird.
But he kind of, from what you're saying, like he skates like a bat out of hell and he hits and he's got some stuff going on. It seems like a guy that maybe way overdrafted and a team is like at 10 is like, hey, we're NHL GMs. We're dumb as shit. We saw it with Tyler Boucher, man. It happens every year.
Yeah, that's possible. Definitely, some NHL team could just like really, really like him. But I don't think he's gonna.
It's a safe pick.
Gonna,
I
don't think he's on the level of Tyler Boucher because then you're gonna get a good player in Liam Öhgren, but I just don't think you're gonna get that high ceiling. But with this draft too, I don't like this draft that much at all anymore. And I think when you get to the 8th overall pick, it's like, sure, take him, and you're probably gonna get a good player because the players that are left, they might just bust and don't be anything. So yeah, I think he's gonna be a solid pick regardless, which is not what I think about Tyler Boucher, but so I think it's gonna be fine when you pick him, but I think there's more left on the table if you pick him too early. There's some real talent there.
If you feel like you know who's going to be top pick in the draft, or just feel like you have some inside knowledge on sports, BetOnline's got you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. As football continues its march to the playoffs, right to the big game on Sunday. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. It's not just about football. BetOnline's got up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, along with live real-time updates of current games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the new amazing offers available for the 2022 season. BetOnline, where the game starts. Yeah, I think if you're a team who's maybe like a fringe playoff team, or you get bounced in the first round and you walk away with a draft with a guy like Öhgren who you know is going to be playing in the NHL like soon, that's not the worst thing in the world. Öhgren, what is his kind of timeline and development before we see him actually playing NHL games?
I mean, I could see him being like next summer already. Like the NHL team is just like, we really like this kid and he's doing really well. So why not just bring him up and see what he does for the first 9 games?
Because he's 6'1" and 180. He's a big boy already, you know. So
Yeah.
But I mean, famously, we know that they only have weight rooms in Sweden. So we don't. When he gets to North America, they don't know what to do with them. But I think with his frame like that, you would think that an NHL GM would just be like, bring him over, let's do it.
Yeah, I think that could be, but I think it's good to always like wait a year, almost always. It's better to just hang on and just be a little bit patient. I think for if you're talking about all the Djurgården players, I think they're going to have a big role in wherever Djurgården plays next season, if it's in the SHL or in Hockeyallsvenskan. I think they're going to have a very solid role, all 3 of them, in the Djurgården team. So they're going to play a lot of minutes, going to play power play, going to get all those everything that they want and they need. They're going to have a pretty good opportunity to develop and be like a primary guy for Djurgården next year. So I think it'd be good for him to stay there and just continue developing and just maybe do really well in the SHL or Hockeyallsvenskan and then just cross the pond and do his stuff in the NHL.
Craig Button has him at 10th.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but he's been really well. The thing with Craig Button, he bases all of his rankings on international tournaments, and Liam Öhgren has been very good in international tournament play. So
that makes more
I'm not going to
sense,
say he bases all of it, but if you look at his list, it's mostly just
very weighted favorably in those tournaments. Yeah,
Craig Button isn't a favorite of mine, so go nuts, say whatever you want. But Lead Prospects have him at 16, and then everybody else kind of has him in like 32, 23, 39. Smart Scouting has him at 19. So it does seem like what is the puck authority? Oh, gotta research that one. I have no idea either, but they made it to Elite Prospects. Where would, as the Sharks, you wouldn't take Liam Öhgren, I don't think, right?
No, because you will probably be around like 10 to 12, 20, 10 to 13th pick.
We're making the playoffs. We've been told by the fans, so sorry.
Or like, I don't know, you'll be probably around like 8 to 13 or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where you are in the standings, but that's what would be my guess. I think in that range you can find talent with high ceiling than him.
So this shouldn't. Liam Öhgren.
But I wouldn't be disappointed either. Like if you take him, that's fine. You're gonna get a really good player, but it won't be. I don't think he's gonna be a franchise-changing talent like William Eklund.
Well, no, not everybody can be William Eklund, so that's the first issue. And I guess like you said, he's not really a guy that you'd want to pair with Eklund anyway. And then he can't really have his own line, I guess. He kind of, at the end of the day, it just seems he's more of a solid complementary piece to an already, like, he would be good for a Toronto to take him, or a Vegas, or a St. Louis Blues, right? Where they can add him into an already established system rather than a built-in system.
Yeah, he'd be perfect there. Or for one of those teams that has several picks in the first round, like Buffalo or Columbus. I think Columbus is going to have 2 very high picks, but like if he's your second guy off the board, then you have a pretty good good draft.
Yeah, we can do like maybe a swing on one guy, and then like what you're like a safer pick with Öhgren, and so
like Columbus takes like Savoy and Öhgren. That would be a great draft.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like if you guys bottom out next year and get Bedard, then Öhgren and Bedard and Eklund would be a perfect line to have, but otherwise, I'm not so sure.
Hold on, I gotta go to the washroom for a second.
California boner, I think. Right?
I'm Canadian. Get out of here. I'm from Canada. I don't have access to freedom boners. William Eklund also is
They're
playing
great.
center. William Eklund is also playing center in the NHL. Doug Wilson Jr. already said that that's their goal for him is to play center. So I think William Eklund's going to be on the hurdle plan where he comes in, plays on the wing to get used to it, and then after like 3 or 4 years, they start transitioning him to the center. Is what they're going for. If that works out, it works out. I just want William Eklund to be on the goddamn team.
Yes.
I've seen Eklund as a winger mostly when I've watched him, and I think still not sure that he's going to pan out as a center, because I think he works best as a winger. Like if you want to get the most out of William Eklund, you play him as a winger, and you put Thomas Hurdle as a center next to him, or someone similar to Hurdle, and then you're good.
Eklund Hurdle Meyer, oh baby.
Yeah, that's a perfect line. That would be perfect. That would be great.
Yes.
They're going to carry you into the playoffs next year. No,
they might.
That's all they need.
Yeah, they could. But yeah, so I think Eklund is a winger mostly for me, but his play as a center so far with Djurgården has been pretty good. So I'm a little bit more optimistic towards that now.
So Öhgren would slot in if they did take him. He would slot in with like the tier of like Weisblatt, Coe, like not quite that upper Eklund, and then like Bordelot, Merkley, Gushin sort of. He's going to be down below.
Yeah, I think putting him with Gushin and those type of players, I think is more fair because I think he has a little bit more potential to play in the top 6 than maybe the other guys you mentioned. So I think just like him, he's a little bit of a tweener between those guys, but I think he's a second tier guy. Yeah, he's not Eklund. He's not like the top guy, but they
only have one top guy. They only have Eklund. He's on his own tier, and then everybody else, like honestly, like the next tier is like Bordelot, Robbins, Weisblatt, Coe, Gushin. The hell else do they even have? I think that might be it.
And just
but I think like comparing Öhgren to Bordelot is kind of fair.
Okay,
something like that. Yeah.
All right, where does Öhgren go? What number?
17th overall.
Oh, that's too close to the Sharks' range.
That's like right that like playoff order. Yeah, that playoff. If you make the playoffs, and then that's not a bad reward for getting crushed by Colorado in the first round. So yeah.
Great. Last time you were on
Monday.
We asked you who the best player is going to be in the draft 5 years from now, and you said Shane Wright. So we're not going to ask you again because we're recording these on the same day. What we are going to ask you is who's a guy that you would stay away from who's in the upper part of the draft. Obviously, if a guy's like Maverick Lamoureux is going like 29th, it doesn't matter. But one of these upper tier guys, who would you stay away from?
He's like top 10 guys, yeah.
Top 10, top 20.
Stay away from Connor Geekie, like full on suit and mask and
plague doctor mask,
three gloves, and I treat him like uranium or something. I would not want to touch him in the top 10 or the first round or the second or third.
Whoa! Here we go.
I don't like him at all, but I can see why NHL teams like him. But yeah, I wouldn't touch Connor Geekie.
He is 6'2". You can't forget that.
And a good Canadian boy.
Connor Geekie's like 6'4", isn't he?
Oh, is he 6'4"? Oh my god.
Yeah,
and he's a good Canadian boy. So how can you beat that?
Guy.
How can
big
you,
guy
how
who
can you
can't
not go?
skate.
He is he's 6'4". Oh my god. Yeah, he's definitely going to top. Okay, Connor Geekie. Don't draft. So we have Connor Geekie. I just love that we. Oh my god, I love that we could just assume that Ottawa is going to make the worst possible selection. Where's Connor Geekie from? Is he Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like from Winnipeg. Oh my god. Okay, Mikael, where can people find you, and what do you got going on?
You can find me on Mikael Holm on Twitter, and that's where I post most of my stuff, or all of my stuff. And otherwise, you can find my workings on with Smart Scouting. I'm going to come out with some reports there probably soon. And mikaelholm.substack.com, where I write about Swedish prospects, which I haven't done in a while, but hopefully I will do it soon.
And then Carl Mikael Holm is CarlMikaelHolm, the way that a Swedish or European person would spell all of those names. So don't come in here with like Carl with a K and Michael with a CH and Holm with an E. Don't do that. You can find us at Locked On Sharks. The content boys are back bringing the content, which is nice because we don't have to pretend that we care about a game against the Oilers anymore. We can do draft profiles and do other stuff.
Starting Monday, we're caring about a game against the Oilers.
Oh yeah, other than that one, because there's going to be 400 fights when Thomas Hertl brings an actual shotgun to the rink against Evander Kane. But yeah, the content boys are back contenting. You can find us Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you want a certain prospect, first round prospect covered, for anybody that suggests a guy like Callie Odelius, who's probably going to go in the second round. We're going to do, as we get close to the draft, we'll do like a whole second round overview and like some deeper guys once we figure out where San Jose is going to slot in.
What's the second round pick?
Yeah, I guess San Jose's never picked in the second round, so that doesn't matter. But we're going to do a deeper guy in the end. We're just trying to cover off the round one guys now. But please suggest a way. We've got some suggestions already. We had a suggestion for Frank Nazar. We had one for Jimmy Snuggerud. Yeah, so please suggest if you want to see anybody. Guys, we have about 10 more already lined up, so don't be afraid to throw it out there. YouTube, if you want to watch us, do our thing. If you're into watching, that's okay. No king shaming here. You can do that at Locked On Sharks on YouTube. We're getting closer to 600. If you want to listen to us, you already are listening to us. Spotify, Amazon, Apple. I always forget Apple. That's the one I use.
That's the most important one.
Yeah, it's the one that gives us our stats. Download that. If you would like to email us, lockedonsharks@gmail.com. If you haven't, thank you for your service. JD, I always get this wrong. Always. Is at my fry hole. I'm at Kyle Demetrius. Mikael, I almost said Carl. Mikael is at Carl Mikael Holm, and you can find him at his Substack and Smart Scouting, and we'll link to his work like we do. Mikael, thank you for listening to our bullshit for an hour and a half today.
Yeah, hour and a half now.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks,
man.